Let me tell y'all about the scariest shit I ever lived through in my life. Let me begin from the beginning. So I was getting off a bus in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, expecting the FBI, the FCC, the FDA, the FEMA, the fucking every local law enforcement agency, including the local law enforcement of Milwaukee, Wisconsin itself. I was expecting them because of all the prank calls I had made back in Green Bay, Wisconsin with my boy Mike. The bad news is, well, the good news is the cops weren't looking for me. The bad news is apparently somebody else was. I'm trying to head up to a Walmart because I know I need to steal a phone charger or else I'm never going to be able to contact anybody, including the dude I was rolling with. So, I get on a bus. I started asking questions. I asked people if I could get to a Walmart and how to get there, and this old lanky looking black dude says, yeah, I know how to get to Walmart, and I make the mistake of getting off the bus with him and following him. He says his name is Larry, or was it Dennis? Anyway, he's crossing the street through 4 lanes of oncoming traffic, not really giving a damn in the world, and I seen a guy who was like that. Reminded me of a boy back in Boston who tried to stab me for a bag of weed. He said, "You were got beat, white boy. You got beat." He pulled out a knife and I said, "You know what? You're right. I just got beat. Have your fucking weed." Either way, I knew something wasn't right, so the second 4-lane intersection he crossed, he went up a street which I knew wasn't right. So I turned around when he wasn't looking and I just walked away. And I thought that was the end of it. But it wasn't. Later on that night, I get into a Walmart and it was kind of hairy actually. There were guards blocking the door almost like people were doing this shit before. And I mean guards, I mean cars with Walmart employees with badges sitting near the door. But I managed to make it out of there. Hairy, but still clean. So I got out. And I walked down past the gas station and I realized that the charger is the wrong charger, missing a few parts, because I had to cut the shit out in the bathroom and walk out. Didn't have much time. But what I noticed is that there's a blue 4-door Chevy sedan and there's a guy inside calling me over, asking me for a cigarette, and I say, "Dude, I ain't got a goddamn cigarette. I ain't got a goddamn charger." But wait. Dude wants me to get in the car with him, and I say, "Fuck no, man. Trust is earned." So, I go into the gas station. The dude follows me in there, but you wanna know what's some ape shit scary kind of shit right now? Is that who came in to the gas station, who followed me, was that tall, lanky, black dude, the old guy from the bus station, from the bus that I was riding on in the first place. He says if I don't come with him, there's gonna be some trouble. Long story short, I start freaking out. A few guys walk me out of there. I say, "You know, I need some fucking cover. I'll give you $5 to watch my back." Those cats take off, and I think that's it. And I book-ass like a motherfucker trying to get out of there about a couple blocks up, and they're hiding in the bush. And I got a cigarette. I got my last cigarette and my knife on the ready in case I need to slit someone's throat. But I get out of that bush about 30 minutes later after finishing that cigarette and chilling, and I see lights and a blinker turning inward on a blue Chevy 4-door sedan, just as the one I described earlier, and I say, "Fuck. These sons of bitches are stalking me." So, I book ass across the street, and they probably attempt to turn around and make a U-turn. I book it for the tracks. Now, the track situation would have been all too bad if there was a way off the tracks. But unfortunately, there wasn't. For about 2 miles, one way, the other way, barbed wire fence, barbed wire fence. If they were to take that car and drive on those railroad tracks, that'd be it. But I made it off the railroad tracks, obviously. Either way, I'm busting my ass and my knee trying to jump over a trying to jump over a solid stone something to get into the street. Long story short, I'm wandering through the ghetto suburbs of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fucking shithole. And I find myself in a bar. Thought I was all A-okay. I'm gonna be fine today. If anything happens, it's gonna happen in front of everybody. But wait, I'm being followed by two black guys, and this bar, it has somewhat of a familiarity to it. I'm looking on the walls and the posters, and as I'm carrying the glass of water that I ordered, and it just so happens that this is a straight up fucking, just black people everywhere. I don't mean to sound racist, but I must be the first fucking 155-pound white boy ever run from two black guys trying to kill him, only to end up in a bar full of fucking black guys. You know, fucking black bar, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Like I said, that was some shit. So I'm like, hey, thanks for the water. See ya. So that was it, man. Hairy as it was, I get a Greyhound bus ticket to Minneapolis the next day. I'm sitting in the bus station and going into the bathroom, take a piss, and I walk out, and some guy says, hey, man, you know where the something is? I don't know what he asked, but he started talking to me, and I look at him and I say, the fuck? It's that same old fucking black guy. Except this time he says his name is Dennis. I say, I don't know no motherfucking black guy by the name of Dennis or Larry. So I think y'all full of shit. Well, unfortunately. So I straight up go to the fucking counter. I say, you know what? I've been followed for 24 hours, and I'm just like, and he's like, by who? The old guy who can barely walk, and I'm like, he's limping, so I'm like, I'm probably tripping. But then I sit down and I'm like, you know what? I'm way too smart for this shit. So I go up, I look out the window, and instead of limping, I'm looking out that window at the same cat who was limping. And he's just he's fucking strutting. I didn't leave that motherfucking bus station for a day and a half. I waited for my fucking bus to Minneapolis for a day and a half. And every time I go out to smoke, and I would time it, man, I'd be looking around, making sure I don't see that car. I'd be paying attention to every motherfucker who walks past me. Every angle, every corner. Because at that point, I had been being fucking stalked through and I knew it at that point, that I was being stalked through, I didn't see him follow me to the Greyhound bus station, boy. But apparently they were. So, anyway, I made it to Minneapolis, and I was A-okay, but man, that ever happens to you? Well, I'm never going back to Milwaukee, unless I have, one of these. Wow.